Just wanted to talk to you guys about iZotope's Tonal Balance Control 2. I think this is one of the most useful plugins, but also one of the most misunderstood plugins. And I can tell you why it's going to be one of the most useful tools you can have in your toolbox. So as you can see, we have these different frequency ranges, and you can solo them and listen to exactly what's happening within those frequency ranges. As you can see here, you have your green reference zones, as I like to call them. And what iZotope have done are they considered these different genres, collected a bunch of commercially released songs, and used that to build these reference zones that can tell you whether your mix may or may not stack up to these songs that have been commercially released. With that being said, you can use this to get in the ballpark of what may be a good balance for your song. I personally like to use the find view because you can actually see exactly where these frequencies are happening in your mix. For example, this mix that I'm working on is a little bit heavy on the low end, low mids, and then kind of dips off here and then sizzles back up into some high end, which kind of sits about right based off the references in the preset. You can see that right around 4K was a problem area for me, so I knocked that back. Or it could just be that's just how the audio and the tone of the song is. Use this with a grain of salt. You don't need to be perfectly in the middle. You don't need to be perfectly in line and match it up. It's just to get you in the ballpark of where these commercially released references are. Now, let's say you don't want to use hip hop. You can use EDM, jazz, even orchestral. Let's say you don't want to use any of those. Let's say you just have a set of songs that you love the sound of. You can hit this hamburger menu, create a target from one file or from a folder. And what this is doing now is creating custom reference zones based on the selected folder of audio. So now you can see, okay, maybe I am or am not within the range of this song and how it sounds that's been commercially released. Now I have a better idea of where my song stacks up when it comes to these commercially released songs. It'll help you get a ballpark, but still, use your ears. Make sure that the judgment of sound for your song matches the vibe that needs to be matched. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to sound good. And that's what this tool is for. Tonal Balance Control. Use it to help you get to where you need to go.